While Congress is ticking off the list of potential terrorist targets, President Bush is selling us out to the Israelis who provoke terrorism against us.
In my state, I don't think most people think of Delaware as a very high-risk state, but I would just share, as we think, what is a target for terrorists? In my state, we have a lot of chemical plants. Delaware used to be known as the chemical capital of the world. I don't know if we still are, but a lot of, I suppose, inviting targets for people who want to do mischief. We have several nuclear power plants right across the river, maybe 20 miles from my home, closer to my home than they are to the home of certainly the senators from New Jersey, in which the plants lie. We have the Northeast Corridor, train tracks, not just for passenger rail that run up and down my state, but also all kinds of hazardous cargo carried by Norfolk Southern and CSX Railroad right through my state. We have a vibrant, busy port. We have a very busy river, Delaware River. Hazardous cargoes up and down that river every single day. There's some people who might look at those in my state and say, well, there's not much risk there, and as a result, they don't need extra money for it. Well, in my judgment, those are risky targets, but those are targets that invite some mischief. And we don't need an enormous amount of money to help prepare for some harm that may come to those targets and the people who live around those targets. We do need some reasonable amount. And the idea that 0.45% of just one program among several that are funded through this bill, 0.45% is somehow too much. I just don't buy that. And the real compelling point here is that if you do the math, I think if you multiply 0.45% times 50 states, you come up with about 23, 24%, something like that, of the funding that would be allocated on the basis of the fact that you're a state on the minimum. But when you actually run through the numbers, as Senator Lieberman and Senator Collins have said, really 95% of the money under this funding program, State Homeland Security Grant Program, 95% would be allocated on the basis of risk for that one. For the Urban Area Security Initiative, I think all the money is allocated on the basis of risk. So with that having been said, my friends, we could have, I call them food fights. We're going to have food fights and debates all day trying to figure out, should the minimum be 0.75%? Should it be 0.45%? Should it be 0.25%? And what our committee has done is said 0.75% is too much. We believe that 0.25% as a minimum is too little. And we believe that 0.45%, which leads to about 95% of the funding under this specific grant program being allocated on the basis of risk, is just about right.
We would have plenty of money for national defense if we quit wasting it on Mars.